Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to X-Men 97, Season 1, Episode 7, titled Bright Eyes. The X-Men find Sentinel inventor Bolivar Trask, realizing they've been played by a mastermind. So, obviously, they assume that Trask is going to be the one behind the attack in Genosha, which, I mean, considering it was a giant sentinel, yeah, that's a fair call to make. However, as we found out at the end of the last episode, apparently Sinister is behind it, or at least working with it, because he's the one who took Trask's DNA to be able to access the Master Mold. Also, there was something that happened in the last episode that like the actual last episode, not my stuff up in saying oh last episode meaning 2 episodes ago, but yeah, Charles's comment when he sees the skeletons of all the dead mutants and everything, and he goes, they were dancing, drinking wine, they were making love. Yeah, that's almost a direct quote from the comic, except he's watching it happen through Cerebro, and it's like, no one saw it coming. They were drinking tea, making love. All those lights gone. But yeah, so they pulled that almost exactly from the comic. Also, apparently the Shi'ar are involved in this comic. I've forgotten that because this one ends with Charles going up to talk with Lilandra. So, interesting. I completely blocked that part of this comic out. So, it's a fun tidbit. Instead of it happening, then him going to the Shi'ar, he was with the Shi'ar and then comes back after it happens. Instead of just swapped it around. But I wonder if we're going to get him arriving back on Earth in this episode, because this seems to be the actual fallout from the attack on Geonosia. But let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. Also, once again, I did not notice the dynamic opening that no longer had Magneto or Gambit in it. But it did have Nightcrawler. We still don't know what happened to Cooper either. How did you get out of... Did Mr. Sinister break you out, or... Don't you think people would have noticed that? Or did they capture a clone? If Trask had given Sinister his DNA, could easily have been a clone. So another thing that was pointed out, the first couple episodes, Jean had her hair down in the opening, and ever since it switched back to the actual Jean, she's now had her hair up in the opening. Because Madeline was the one who wore it down. They're still showing this shot of Cable and Nimrod. In fact, there was nothing we hadn't seen before. Interesting. Also, I would have thought Storm would be on the opening again. since she got her powers back. I was trying to pay attention to that. Do we really have to start with Gambit's funeral? Okay, that makes sense. Guess out of all of them, Kurt would be the one to. Nice play of words. So interesting when the minister actually knows the deceased. Because normally, from what I've seen, they're reading off a predetermined script. If anyone can understand that. Really putting the Captain Marvel powers to use. Yeah, how well that go? This really is a show of if mutants wanted to, the US Army would not stand a chance. Yeah, considering the US are one of the highest military focused countries in the world, that sort of implies that no one would stand a chance. I figured that was Ross. Um, Pretty sure Captain Marvel can beat the Hulk. I mean, I can see that argument, but it also could be doing more. Hmm. You lost your son and the mother of your son. They go. They go to help in the. I don't even know what to real call this. Yeah, Jamie would be good for. Hmm. Another interesting thing in this book is Hank was actually dating someone named Trish. I think it may be the same one. And she broke up with him after the fall of Genosha. Hello, Steve. Hmm. Much less assuming than a barbershop. Hmm. Hmm. I was gonna make a joke about her doing that when she first picked it up, but There was a theory I heard that maybe when the Sentinel said Omega level threat neutralized, Leech had taken enough of Magneto's power to make him no longer register, and that would also explain why we didn't see Magneto in Charles's vision. Yeah, what do you expect? He's probably the head of OZT. I'm about to shove my fist up your ass to get your memories. That was Nimrod. Saw those rats in Madeline's visions as well. Mm, of course, that would be his first thought. That's not Madeline. Ha. It's another thing taken from this book is Jean using her her telekinesis to clear rubble, and then out came Emma Frost in diamond form. What was the code in that? Go there, expect a trap. So much for small talk. Yeah? Well, this is a lot better than it could have been. Time for rich boy to break out on his own. How did you find her? Hmm. Your whole family's there. Did that say Bastion? As in human form created by Nimrod merging with a mutant Bastion? Really, Morph? Asimov. As in laws of robotics? Maybe some form of Omega Sentinel that came back from the future and merged with a human. I was really expecting someone to go down and catch him. Um, well, that didn't really work out well for you, did it, Rogue? You know, had you not dropped him to his death, this likely would not have happened. I was about to say, too bad for those people way down there that get crushed. I mean, in the same way I disagree with him being able to use Blob's ability, I don't really count super speed as a physical attribute. Warning. Omega level mutant detected. It's an EMP. That's Cable. He knows his true form. Hmm. So have you? What is it with you and this song? I guess this is your secret. How did you get him out of there? You're a wee bit creepy, mate. Huh. Okay. So, seems like Bastion is the one behind the Omega Cent, well, the Tri Sentinel. Which, yeah, okay. I now understand the title for the final 3 episodes. As Gyrick said in the first episode, was it Gyrick or Tolerance His Existence? Whichever character said that. That's the title for the last 3 episodes. Now, we have E is for Extinction, which is the destruction of Genosha by the Tri-Sentinel. And Bastion is behind Operation Zero Tolerance. So, Zero Tolerance is extinction. That actually makes for a good saying too. Zero tolerance is extinction. Because it's like the whole curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back, or the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. All these sayings that are only half used to have the opposite intention, the full one would show the true results, such as zero tolerance is extinction versus tolerance is extinction. It's actually a funny play on words, because if you don't know the name of the stories, you wouldn't really put that together. But yeah. So, that would sort of explain why Nimrod's been in the opening and why Nimrod was standing in a master mold in one of those opening shots, which isn't actually pulled from the original show. So, interesting. New Rockstars did raise a good point in why did they use specifically that shot of Cable fighting Apocalypse when there are so many other Cable shots they could have done? Because Cable is obviously a part of this, but I don't believe that Apocalypse is going to be. Like, you've already had, what, 4 villains technically teamed up for this one plan. Do you really need to throw a 5th one in there? Unless I guess technically you could argue that technically these would be 4 human horseman for Apocalypse. But Apocalypse has always been about mutants ruling the world. Well, more him ruling the world with mutants under him. So why would he team up with 4 humans to destroy so many mutants? Because like I said, Bastion is technically Nimrod fused with a human. I can't remember if it's a mutant or a human, but that falls under the human. Nathaniel Essex, he's modified his genetics with mutant genes, but he was still human. So, human. Technically mutate, but same difference. And, yeah, so you could run that angle, but out of all of the X-Men, there are 2 that are on the team in case someone's hands need to get dirty. And that is Wolverine and that is Rogue. Because, I think it may have been in the one I showed at the start of, no, at the end of Remember It, where there's a panel of Rogue saying it's meant to be us who gets their hands dirty when a different X-Men kills someone. She's saying that to Wolverine, is we're meant to be the ones who get our hands dirty. So her dropping Trask off the building makes sense. And out of all of them, it would be her who did it. Also, just casually breaking into a bunker that's designed to keep the Hulk out and yeeting Captain America's shield into a mountain. Like, yeah, she's really not painted the Avengers in a good light, because, well, she could single-handedly take them on. Then again, Wolverine can take on the Hulk, so I guess her using Captain Marvel's abilities would sort of give her an advantage over all the others as well. Yeah. I was wondering if they were going to do the whole Emma Frost turning diamond, because out of all of the council, she was the only one that we didn't see die. Like, we saw Magneto die, we saw Callisto die, we saw Banshee die, we saw Moira's dead body, we saw Shaw's dead body. All else that was in that room was Thingo. Well, Cooper and Emma. One we still haven't seen, and they even mentioned the fact that she's still missing in this episode. And the other one, much like in the comic this is based off of, was trapped under rubble from the attack, and Jean sensed that there was a psychic underground, used her telekinesis to clear a path, and out comes Emma in a diamond form that was only awakened because of the attack. I did sort of spoil that in the last couple episodes, because I mentioned it in Remember It, and I actually showed the panel of it in the last episode, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here. I am very interested to see what happens next. But with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.